keep your phones on silent as we're going to be live streaming to the rest of the country. All right, there we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Let me try. Wait. Let me walk.
Hi, Rob.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi, Rob.
Welcome to DuePoint. Good afternoon to everyone who's tuned in around the country on our live stream. So, yes, that's my name, Rob. It's Rob van der Bijl. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint, and I'm going to be spending a quick 45 minutes with you as we go through our introductory business presentation. After the presentation, you're welcome to come chat to me. You're welcome to come ask me any questions that you might have. Feel free on the chat to ask any questions on the chat. Introduce yourselves to, I think Jane is manning the live chat on the live stream. Introduce yourselves, how many guests you have, where are you from. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, this business, DuePoint, is a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. So Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We've been in operation since 1952 successfully in the insurance space. So for a fairly long time, a lot longer than I've been on the planet. It is perhaps a business or a brand that you're not aware of. So you might be thinking, geez, if they've been around for so long, why do I not recognize them? Because they've always been a business-to-business company. They've never approached consumers or the public directly. So they've always dealt, and they typically underwrite a lot of other insurance companies around the country. But as I said, they're a fully blown insurance company, which there are not many of in South Africa. We've got a host of financial licenses which we operate under. Those are on display above the water cooler in our foyer. Those are very important for us to disclose. You can find them on our website. If you're still skeptical, you can even go to the FSCA website and just type in Constantia. It'll come up with all the financial licenses that we have there. So we've got a long and short-term insurance license, we've got an investment license, we've got the FSP license. So please scrutinize those. I always speak about credibility as being a massive proponent of doing good business. In this presentation, what we're actually doing is we are proposing collaboration or partnership with people that decide to join us here at DuePoint, and credibility, trust forms a massive part of any partnership. And so if you have any questions, make sure that they get addressed. You're welcome to speak to me. Go do research on our website, on Constantia's website, but make sure you get any questions answered. The senior staff here at DuePoint are these people up on screen, starting from, I think, shortest and ugliest going to tallest and best looking. That's how the photographer arranged them. That wasn't me. Starting with Mr. Benfield. He is our senior executive. You would have met him earlier. He heads up this division. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance. He was the chief operating officer of Prime Meridian Direct, which is one of the biggest short-term insurers in the country. So they founded that business. So his whole family is actually entrenched in insurance. His father, Dr. Brian Benfield, founded Clientele Life. His father was very much a maverick in the insurance business. He was the first person to start advertising insurance on TV in the 80s, which was never done before and frowned upon at that stage. And he was also the first person to embark in promoting financial products through network or referral marketing through the business, the company IFA. So we've got a lot of financial pedigree in the Benfields. Tim and Stacey are our other registered chartered accountants. They look after a lot of the boring aspects of our business, as I call it. It's all the auditing, the accounting, all the regulatory requirements. Then Jane and myself, we're the two non-accountants. Jane is very experienced in network or referral marketing. She's from the UK, so she brings some wonderful international experience to our business, which is certainly very important for us to experience any growth in this market, because we become 100% dependent on the people that decide to join us in this business. I'll elaborate on that further. And then myself, I've been working in advertising for about 25 years, particularly in the digital space. I ran my own digital agency for about 15 years. We did a lot of work actually in the financial space. I did personally a lot of work for Investec as the digital space started to open up in South Africa. So that's the experience I bring to the team. We've got our client service staff, we've got admin staff, but the mandate of everybody that works here at DuePoint is to support the people that come join us in this business. We have the luxury of focusing on that. Fortunately, we've got IT systems today that take care very much all the operations that we have, and it allows us to focus on supporting people that join us in this business. We want to see you being effective, right, because we depend on you for our growth. We want to see you profitable as quickly as possible. That's why you're here, all right? And I think if we can bring those two aspects together, we'll have very happy people in our business, because one of the biggest aspirations we have is to create long-term relationships with people in this business. We've got massive long-term sustainable plans for this business in South Africa, if not the whole of Africa. So very quickly, we jump back to a fairly negative slide. We just look at the circumstance, the necessity of a business like DuePoint. We get a lot of statistics with regards to personal finance for South Africans. It paints a pretty bleak picture, unfortunately. I don't labor too much on the slide. Suffice to say that we individually have necessity, I think, for a business like this. We know on a macro level that South Africans, from a personal finance point of view, are going to experience a lot of pain. Not just because of the economy, but perhaps because of debt cycles that people get themselves in. We look at statistics of people around retirement. It looks fairly dismal there. About over 90% of South Africans retire financially dependent still. Right, they become dependent on families, on children, having to go out and look for jobs again. They've got to downgrade their lifestyles to such a degree that they can actually afford to get by month to month. And then to take it even further, I saw statistics on death, saying that 50% of South Africans can't afford to die. Imagine being told you can't die yet. You've got to get rid of your debt first, right? And so really this business is about mitigating all this risk that we find ourselves circumstantially as South Africans. To speak more about the aspirations we have in mind for the business and people that get involved in this business, often our language is very focused around wealth creation at DuePoint. I think this separates us from many other businesses because what we're trying to achieve is not only to have a successful business, but to create social impact by way of allowing people to understand what wealth generation is all about. And one of the biggest obstacles we hope that people will use DuePoint to leverage is to get rid of debt as quickly as possible. We are all indebted, right? You look at South Africa's fiscus, I think the average debt per person in South Africa, that includes babies all the way to pensioners on their deathbed, it's sitting at around 55,000 Rand per person. No, it was close to 300, sorry. It was close to 300,000 Rand per person. That is not even our debt. That's the country's debt that we've taken on. And so one of the biggest aspirations is get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. I try to get people to connect viscerally with that fact. Imagine not having any debt at all. No debt. You own your house that you live in. You own the car you drive. There's no debit order. There's no installment at the end of the month. There are no debit orders coming off your account every single month. It is a very liberating place to find yourself in. And that is your first step to wealth creation, because once you achieve that, you can now start focusing on purchasing assets, and that is where wealth lies. It's the ownership of assets, be it houses, be it investments, be it a business that creates annuity income, and that's what we want to achieve with people in this business. So how does our business practically work? This afternoon, as guests, you have the opportunity to join what we call the DuePoint system. Once you join us, we refer to you as wealth engineers. As a wealth engineer, you've got a single task, and that is to go out and help us build channels of distribution. Into these channels of distribution, we will promote and sell our products, right? But you have to create these channels of distribution for us. How do you do that? You go out and tell people about DuePoint. As simple as that. It's like going out and having a good meal at a good restaurant or watching a good movie. You go out and tell people about that, right? This is referral marketing or word of mouth marketing, which is becoming way more effective than traditional forms of marketing. And this is where we place all our dependency, is on this partnership, this collaboration, which we've afforded to members of the public. And it affords you a host of benefits if you're successful in building a channel of distribution. Primarily being you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. This is the primary reason why you're here. Right? But the nature, again, of the income that we produce speaks again to wealth creation, because we are not a business that creates once-off commission-based, sales-based income. We're a business that remunerates wealth engineers for building channels of distribution. In other words, we remunerate you for creating an asset here at DuePoint. So your income becomes asset-based. We call it recurring income. People refer to it as passive income or annuity income. It is all the same thing. It is the ability to rid yourself of time constraint or activity constraint. Our salaries are very much constrained by activity, right? Your boss is not going to pay you if you don't come to work. And we become 100% dependent on salary, unfortunately. It's not many South Africans that create second streams of income, right? This has got massive risk attached to it, because next month, if you're in a car accident or you become ill or you become retrenched, you lose your job, you get to retirement, your income ends in all of those instances. If you focus on creating recurring income, that doesn't happen. Assets don't disappear with regards to those events, right? You get to harness the power of duplication. So this is just your opportunity to go out and build a team around you that can build your channel of distribution that much faster, that much more effectively, that will increase your recurring income that much faster, that much more effectively. So that's a benefit you want to leverage as much as possible. Our business is FlexiTime. The technology that we have in place here at DuePoint, you pretty much run your entire business off of your mobile phone. That allows you to build your channel of distribution anywhere in the country at any time of the day with very little cost to you, right? Maybe some data. We have no startup capital requirements. We don't have starter kits. We don't have boxes of product. We don't have registration fees. We have designed this business to be as low cost or at low risk as possible with very low barrier to entry. We do this purposely to make it as accessible as possible. We also have the luxury to do this because we have full confidence in our system in creating long-term relationships that we don't have to make it a high barrier to entry. I'm very disparaging about these other businesses that have these massive registration fees. I call them smash and grab businesses because they have a presentation where they show you everything you want to see, but to get involved in the business, you've got to take out a loan or you've got to put yourself at risk to get involved in these businesses. We are not one of those businesses. Like I say, we are fully confident in this business that we are happy to build relationships with people in the long term, because I know if you get involved in this business, the likelihood that you're going to be around month to month to month is high. I don't have to smash and grab you in the beginning when I see you and give you the best presentation, right? Again, no experience or qualification requirements. You get to build an asset here at DuePoint. So I've spoken about this already, but it's an asset that you have legal tender over. Your channel of distribution here at DuePoint, you own it. It means you can sell it. It means when you get to retirement, it doesn't retire you. You can carry on earning this recurring income through your retirement, through your 70s, through your 80s, through your 90s, and even when you die, it is treated like an asset. You get to seed it in your will to your beneficiaries, be it your spouse, be it your children, and you actually get to pass on wealth, right? For me, the problem here is people always speak about their time, right? Their time is so valuable. If our time is so valuable, why do we dedicate 8 hours a day, 45 years of our life to salary employment? That is so fraught with risk. People have to start becoming aware of the value of creating recurring income and start shifting your priority with regards to time in building an asset, right, that has all these advantages over and above salary. There's no selling involved in our business. So there is absolutely no requirement for you to go out and sell our products or even to know what our products are about, because the Code of Conduct specifically and explicitly states that you may not market, sell, publish, promote our products. Right? Because of regulation in South Africa, only Brendan and myself are licensed to tell people and advise people on our products. This is a great thing for you because you don't have to go out this weekend and when you speak to people, try to sell them insurance products or investment products. All you're going to be doing is referring them to our business opportunity. Our business opportunity is you getting them to watch an intro presentation like this. They will then become aware of the products that we have on offer here, right? Once they engage with our business. The nature of our products being financial in nature means we don't have boxes of product, we don't have tangible products. Everything is taken care of by IT systems today, and so you never have to worry about stock and distribution. So those are the host of benefits in the DuePoint system. But your success is still predicated on your ability to build a channel of distribution. It begins with you. You become a wealth engineer and a product owner here at DuePoint. Now you're going to go out and start connecting other people to DuePoint. Of all the people you tell about DuePoint, there will only be a handful that decide, yes, they want to take up this business opportunity, right? And so you might have spoken to 10 or 20 people, of which 5 became wealth engineers and product owners. That is the beginning of your channel of distribution. This is where the power duplication starts to take place. You want to be discerning in this process here because there's 2 ways to build a channel. You can be desperate and go connect anybody that wants to make extra money into your system, or you can go out and be very discerning about who you allow into your business. I often compare wealth engineers to CEOs or MDs. Your role is to go build a board of executives, a board of directors. And you don't just let anyone into your board of directors. You go decide who you think will thrive, has the resources to help you build this business. Because in the long term, I want wealth engineers to build sustainable channels, and it is only built on quality individuals that you bring into your organization. Right? So that's just a tip. This is what your channel of distribution could look like after a certain amount of time. You are earning off of every single product owner that you see up on the slide. Right? And this is what you're going to be building. This is the asset that you own that will increase in size with time. My warning to everybody in this presentation is that do not make the mistake of romanticizing entrepreneurship. Unfortunately, the majority of entrepreneur stories that we hear are the successful ones, right? And often we don't have an idea of the hardship and the endurance, the blood, sweat, and tears required to become successful at any endeavor that we pursue. And DuePoint is no different, right? Even our most successful wealth engineers know that the business is difficult. It is simple, right? We make it simple for you to engage in, but it is still difficult, right? So I'm hoping that I'm preparing people for that difficulty. When you meet it, you go, I was warned about this, I'm expecting it, I'll endure through it. If you want to be successful, right? On to our products. So we've got 4 products that are all financial in nature here at DuePoint, and they are not arbitrary consumer products. These are products, again, designed with wealth in mind. They are either designed to increase your asset value, protect your assets, or at least to reduce your monthly expenses. Our first product is Access Wealth. It's an investment product. It's going to cost you 324 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand gets invested into a tax-free investment fund. That sits with Sanlam. It's an actively managed fund. You've got full access to that fund. In other words, there's no notice period in terms of removing the funds from this account. On top of this, we give you 120,000 Rands worth of personal accident death cover. So if you have this investment in place and you are killed in any form of accident, we'll pay out your beneficiaries 120,000 Rand plus whatever access they have to those investment funds. So this is our investment product. The second product is Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is strictly insurance, so it's only an insurance product. It costs you 249 Rand every month, but this time you get 1 million Rands worth of personal accident death cover. The beauty of our personal accident death cover product is that it's accessible to anybody over the age of 18. Right? So typically you will know life insurance policies can be restrictive because they profile your risk to the business, right? So you can have high blood sugar and get killed in a hijacking, we'll still pay out, right? The product is 100% accessible to anyone over the age of 18, and we don't discriminate against your age or your health status. You can be 65 years old, you can be diabetic, you can have cancer, the premium is the same for everybody. All right, so that's Wealth Guard. Then we've got a family product called Family Wealth. This is a funeral cover product. It gives you funeral cover to the value of 20,000 Rand for 299 Rand a month. It covers up to 5 family members or dependents. You can increase your cover to 30,000 Rand with this product with a mere extra 70 Rand. You can also increase it up to 10 family members. The principal member of this product gets 10,000 Rands worth of debt protection or protection from liability. So if you owe anyone money, we will cover up to 10,000 Rand upon your death. And even if you are disabled, we will pay out your installments up to the value of 10,000 Rand with this product. And again, the accessibility is wonderful in this product because we don't discriminate against any pre-existing conditions or your age. If you're between the ages of 18 and 70, you can get in on this product. The premium is the same for everybody. And it is a whole of life product. A lot of life insurance products will cancel your product when you get to the age of 70, 75. Right? This is called a whole life product. So you'll get to 90 and you'll still be covered. We don't cancel your product when you get to a certain age. So this is a wonderfully accessible product for the whole family, Family Wealth. And then last we've got Wealth Points. Wealth Points is aimed to reduce your monthly expenses cost. So for 299 Rand a month, you get to share in the discounts and the benefits that we've negotiated with a host of companies that you see listed there. So you think about all that money you spend habitually every single month, our monthly expenses, the cost of living expenses, we're going to try to reduce that for you. So we've got partners that cover that broad spectrum. We've got data partners. Instead of spending 100 Rand for a gig of data, you can spend 36 Rand for a gig of data. ShopRite Checkers, they give us 2% off your entire trolley as much as you want to shop at ShopRite Checkers. So we've got a host of other online retailers. Hirsch's is very popular. We've even got car manufacturers. I was very fortunate to buy a new car recently from Eagle Ford. They gave me me 20% off a car. They gave me the same price. I went and checked. I've been looking at this car for a long time. 4 years ago, when I started at DuePoint, 4 years ago, they gave me the same price today that I got quoted 4 years ago on the car. Right? So there's massive benefit in this product if you use and take advantage of the suppliers. There's immediate benefit, so you can start benefiting immediately out of this product. Wonderful product. We've got more information on our website. There are in-depth reviews on each of these products. So make sure that any questions are answered with regards to the products. Very quickly, to explain our business model, we get the question sometimes, how is DuePoint able to pay wealth engineers every single month, and along with all the rewards that we attach to this business? It is basically in the fact that DuePoint doesn't do any marketing or advertising. Right? You've never seen a DuePoint logo on TV, heard us on the radio, seen us in newspapers, right? Because we purposely don't. We take that portion of our budget and we give it to our wealth engineers in the form of the two programs that we have here at DuePoint. So in other words, we're remunerating you for the work you do in helping us grow our business in South Africa, right? It's as simple as that. And so we don't have to spend the millions of rands that typically insurance companies spend monthly on marketing and advertising. We take that portion of the budget and we give it to our wealth engineers in the form of these two programs that you see at the bottom, the returns program and the rewards program. We'll discuss the rewards program at the end of the presentation. The returns program is the most important. This is the recurring income that you get to generate every single month. It works like this. So these are the mechanics. We pay 27.50 Rand for every product you have in your channel, right? But that's dependent on where that product lies in relation to you. So remember the first 5 individuals you introduced personally to DuePoint? So anyone that you introduce personally to DuePoint falls on what we call your first point. Right, that's the closest point to you. And on the table, you can see on the first point, we actually pay you double the 27.50 Rand. When those individuals go out and start building their channels, in turn yours, that product lies on your second point. And again, on your second point, you earn 55 Rand for every product. Remember, every single month, because it's recurring income. And as your channel starts to grow and grow and grow, the product gets further away from you. The multiplier drops steadily all the way out to 0.8. You're earning 4% of the 27.50 Rand, but we don't limit you at 0.8. There's no limitation to the size of your channel. We will keep paying 4% in theory to infinity. And so there's no limitation on the amount of money you can make at DuePoint. Right? We've got wealth engineers that are already on 0.30, and that was after 2 years of doing this business. All right. So the responsibility to grow your channel falls squarely on your shoulders. People yet still want to know, well, how much activity is required to earn a certain amount of money in this business? This will give you a good idea. It's a 5-year plan. We call it the path to success, maybe the path to becoming a millionaire, perhaps. The activity looks like this. In your first month, if you can add 3 people into your channel on your first point in your first month, so let's call it December. Tomorrow's December. So in December, you're going to connect 3 people into our business. Every consecutive month thereafter, you only have to connect 2 people. So in January, only 2 people. February, 2 people. You keep connecting 2 new people onto your first point. If you can do that activity, as an example, you should expect to earn this kind of money. After 6 months, you'll be earning about 2,500 Rand a month in returns. Right? Now, I love this example because I would want to get into everyone's head to understand what your reaction to that was. I said 6 months of work, 2 people a month, 2,500 Rand a month. Some people might be sitting there going, oh, this is small money. Or perhaps you think, oh, I wish I had the 2,500 Rand in my back pocket right now. That would be nice, right? But remember, it's recurring income. I want to illustrate the value of money from 2 perspectives to you quickly. This is a quick lesson. The 2 perspectives are, you can think like a consumer, which we all do. I do every single day. I'm very bad at it, right? Think like a consumer, or you think like someone that wants to create wealth, like an investor, right? The consumer looks at 2,500 Rand and immediately gives that value money spending value. I've done lots of exercises. Put 2,500 Rand in everyone's hand. How long will that money last in your wallets and your purses? It's Friday, right? So it's really bad to give you money just before the weekend starts. Right? That's typically how consumers think. But someone who's trying to create value or wealth doesn't look at money that way. They know the power of money. They can actually leverage it. They can take the 2,500 Rand and increase its value. How do you do that? If you're indebted, you pay your debt off faster. Paying debt off faster is the same, it achieves the same thing as investing money. People don't realize that, right? So I've got an illustration for you. R1 million bond. Everyone wants to be a homeowner, right? Land is the hot topic in South Africa. Everyone wants to be a homeowner. You've got to go bond them property. No one's got R1 million in the bank account, so they go to the bank, they get a bond. The bond will specify a bond term. In this example, 20 years, right? Everyone typically takes 20-year bond. On R1 million at prime plus 2, you're paying back at the bank 11,500 rand a month for 20 years before you become a homeowner. You join DuePoint, and 6 months later, you're earning 2,500 rand. And instead of spending the money, you decide to put it into your bond as an additional payment. What's the net effect of that? Instead of paying the bank back 2.5 million rand for your 1 million rand property, you only pay the bank 1.6 million rand because you pay that property off in 11.5 years instead of 20 years. You have just saved yourself 900,000 rand in interest that you would have paid to the bank if you had stretched that bond out to the full 20 years. At month 12, you are earning in excess of 100,000 rand annually in recurring income. December is a very expensive month for families, right? Imagine picking up a 100,000 rand check from DuePoint every December. How that would change your life. It would, right? It would change your December dramatically. You could pay for school fees a year up front for the parents here with small children like me. Shake my head in January. Exactly. After 24 months, so we're going to go through this quickly, 24 months, you'll be close to 30,000 rand a month. Remember, you're not resetting. Our business is not based on activity that you get remunerated for, it's for building that channel. And you can build your channel to be bigger and bigger and bigger every single month. That is the purpose. After 36 months, you'll be close to 50,000 rand a month. After 4 years, 48 months, you'll be close to 70,000 rand a month. And believe it or not, after 60 months, so 5 years from today, you could be earning close to 85,000 rand a month. That's R1 million in annual recurring income. Throw that 100,000 rand check away and come pick up a 1 million rand check from DuePoint annually.
Just 2 every month.
2 every month? 2 every month. Believe it or not. Right? And we've got people on this journey, because you can say to me, well, this is just academic. It's a formula that you've put up on the screen. We can keep going and you're going to become a billionaire in 100 years. Right? But we have people on this journey, and it is very important for us to bring these people up onto stage to share their stories with people, the good and the bad. We don't prep anyone. The only prepping we do when we invite people onto stage is that they know how close to hold the microphone to their mouths. And we actually tell them, tell everybody the bad of this business. Because it would be completely unrealistic to expect anyone to achieve anything in this business thinking it is an easy business. It isn't, right? And so we love to bring people up onto stage. If you go onto our YouTube channel, you'll see there are hundreds of testimonies of the last 2 years that you can go watch. This month particularly, we've got some new people in the business that have been around for 14 months and less. So we've got Francina. Francina's sitting right over here. She's very active in our business, right? So go watch her video on YouTube. She's earning close to 3,500 rand a month already after 14 months. So you could say, well, she's behind the 3+2 formula, right? That path to success. After a year, you should have been at around 9,000 rand. But this is the beauty of the business, because if you get distracted, and Francina's had some personal circumstance in her life that has not allowed her to do this business, we don't cut off your income. The asset is producing income, and so she got paid while she was away. We've had wealth engineers disappear for a year, and we still paid them through the year, right? The personal work she's done, look at the last point there. On her first point, she's personally introduced 29 people. That's translated to 268 people in her channel. Her channel is 6 points large, so that gives you an idea of the power of duplication that takes place. That's why it's so important. Bring strong people on your first point. It'll make your life much easier in this business. Then we've got Paul. Paul travels around a lot. He's unfortunately commission-based in everything that he does, which has become massively problematic, because I think he was involved in timeshare, and in an economy like ours, people are trying to get rid of timeshare desperately, right? And so he latched onto the DuePoint business. He's absolutely loving it. A wonderful testimony from him. He's at 3,500 rand after 9 months. So he's doing 3+2 fairly closely. He's introduced 26 people in that time. He's got a really big channel after 9 months. Typically, people don't have channels that big after 9 months, but perhaps he's brought some good people in. His channel sitting at 10 points, and he's got 193 people in his business. And then we've got Michael. Michael's also very active, 8 months in the business. His channel value is sitting at over 4,000 rand a month. He's introduced 25 people in the 8 months. That's translated to 109 people in his channel, right? Everybody is different. The system is identical for everybody, and the thousands of people joining this business every single month, Everyone is running a different race. Now you're going to be looking at these slides going, You see the big numbers. I want the big numbers, right? And you are at full liberty to decide what you want out of this business. No one is going to dictate to you what you can take from DuePoint. This is a decision that you get to make, but the practical consideration that has to follow up on that decision is, how is DuePoint going to fit into your life? Because I see way too many people, they come in here, they treat it like a New Year's resolution, a hobby, they do it when they feel like it, right? And they're out the back door within 3 months. My job is not to convert people in this business. My job is to sift through the people that find a business like this necessary enough to stick to and keep themselves accountable to. Right? So I have no idea who's sitting in this room that's suddenly going to be joining us in Mauritius next year. I have no idea. But I give everyone equal opportunity. But practically for you, to give yourself the best chance, you've got to decide, how do I fit DuePoint into my life every week going forward from this point? I hope that's not a daunting decision. Right? I hope you see the hope and the practicality and the potential, the opportunity that that decision has in it. Right? Getting started is very straightforward. You jump onto the website, there's a big blue apply button, or if you joined with the person that's introduced you to the business, you can jump on their mobile phone. They've got an application that you go through. It takes 5 minutes to complete the application. Now you're a wealth engineer, right? Now you need to start applying yourself to this business. So a couple of tips: go watch our online training, right? We've got lots of it. It's freely available on YouTube. Set goals for yourself. Again, you're at liberty to decide what you want. Do you want the 10,000 Rand after a year of doing this, or do you want double that? Decide what you want. Right? But it has to be followed up by a plan. The plan always is, how many people do I need to be connecting into my first point to realistically be able to reach that goal? And that always gets distilled down to a bigger number. That bigger number is, how many doors do I have to knock on? How many people do I have to phone to result in so many people joining? And that's the only number you have to worry about. Don't have to worry about whether people are going to say yes or no. Just knock on those doors. Right? That's the only number you have to worry about. Consider getting merchandise. For me, someone coming from a background of branding and advertising, I understand the power of creating a good first impression. It has power, whether you like it or not, right? And merchandise plays into that picture. So please consider getting business cards. For me, it is probably the most important thing. And we've got new power banks. The notepads are really cost-effective. Pens. It makes you look more professional when you're approaching particularly strangers and people that you know. They look at you and they go, this person is a proponent of the business that they are trying to get me to look at. If you arrive with nothing, do you really look like you believe in the business, right? And this is a tiny investment to get started in DuePoint. Join our Facebook page. We're very active on that. YouTube, freely available. Make sure that app's downloaded onto your tablet, on your phone. More importantly, it is the platform that we use to live stream these presentations out to the entire country. And those are opportunities every single time to connect anyone in the country to this business, right? And then make sure you download the DuePoint app onto your smartphone, because that really reflects exactly what's happening in your business. You will make mistakes throughout this business. The app will tell you when you're making a mistake so that you can remedy it and become a master in this business. So make sure you do that once you join. Then onto our rewards program. We nearly forgot, there are rewards on top of the returns here at DuePoint. We reward the wealth engineers for activity and the success that they have in building channels. So there's these milestones that people get very excited about, right? It's not as important as that monthly return that you create for yourselves, but it's a wonderful opportunity to have milestones that you can target. For us, it is a culture-building exercise. So through this program, we try bend and curve and mold culture in our business, good culture, good activity. How does it work? Once you become a wealth engineer, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. You are completely off the slide, right? But to get to rank 1 is very simple. You need what we call XP. You need 1,000 XP. XP stands for experience points. We give wealth engineers XP for everything. Everything that they do, wealth engineer related. So getting 1,000 XP takes about 10 seconds. You need 4 qualified products in your qualified channel, and when you meet those 2 criteria, you become a rank 1 wealth engineer, and you get a whopping 55 Rand reward at the end of that month. Right? I always say, don't frown upon the 55 Rand, use it for self-love. You go buy yourself a muffin, a cappuccino, whatever, and you celebrate getting on the board at DuePoint, because what you've just proven to yourself, sincerely, what you've just proven to yourself is that you can get to any rank at DuePoint. Because the millionaires at rank 20 are doing the same thing the rank 1s are doing. You're doing the same thing. There's nothing special between the two. The only thing that separates you is time. The rank 20s have been doing it longer than anyone else, right? And then as you rank up, there are much bigger rewards waiting for you. 20,000 Rand checks, 50,000 Rand checks. We give tools to our wealth engineers to help them be more effective in connecting people, fancy USB drives with all our video collateral on it. And rank 7, we get you extremely expensive, luxurious business cards. These are just a luxury to have, because no one in their right mind would go out and spend 12,500 Rand on a set of business cards, right? But at DuePoint we do, because when you sit down at a table with strangers and you throw a 12,500 Rand business card on the table, I promise you your credibility shoots through the roof, right? Not even the CEO of De Beers has got a business card that costs a tenth of what your business card costs. It is all about credibility in this business, everything. So a wonderful tool at rank 7. And then at rank 9, this is one everyone gets very excited about, and this is 7 sleeps away for our rank 9 wealth engineers. We take you and your family to our rank 9 international conference. This is something that we do for our rank 9s every single year for the rest of their lives. When you get to this milestone, it's got to feel good, I think. It's got to feel good. So it is, as I said, for your whole family. It's business class there and back. It is a 5-star luxury resort. It's 7 days, and it's an all expenses paid trip that you get to enjoy. So take a look. We've documented our last rank 9 trip. This was at the Western Turtle Bay in Mauritius. We're going to a new resort next week, and we will document that. But I want you to watch this and imagine that warm sand between your toes, because it's available for everybody.
You've drawn, you've sung to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Thanks, Bhumi. So that's what rank 9 looks like for our rank 9s every single year. And again, you're at liberty to decide how quickly you want to get to rank 9. Some people have done it in less than 6 months, right? From 0 to 1,000 people in their channels in 6 months. Some people have taken a year, some have taken 2 years. We don't reset your XP ever. If it takes you 10 years to get there, it takes you 10 years to get there. You decide how quickly you want to do this business. It is up to you. 2 ranks later, we buy Wealth Engineers a brand new car. We spend R250,000 buying a car cash. We put it in your name. It is yours. There's no debit order. There's no T's and C's. You've earned this car. You're driving around a car with no debit order at the end of the month. That is the purpose, right? Debt-free as quickly as possible. So this is still early in the rewards program. We're showcasing, we're giving you a taste of the rewards program. We're at rank 11. The program goes up to rank 28. So we're only 1/3 into the program that we've designed. So there's massive value. We are 2.5 years into this business. We are hardly even rolling at the moment. There is massive benefit. One of my biggest wishes was just to get a sneak peek 10 years from now to see what some wealth engineers have done with our business. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that, right? It is a process. Wealth creation does not happen overnight. A reminder for tomorrow morning's generators workshop that we're having. So this is for our rank 4s and above. We have specialized workshops that we design for the rank 4s and above. So this is my final warning to everybody in my best Liam Neeson voice. If you do not come to this generators workshop tomorrow, there are going to be consequences. So for those of us in Gauteng, and I'm talking into the camera, I don't know how many rank 4s are watching now. Brendan, if he sees that you're missing, he will come find you that day. He'll drive to your house, right? Why do I say that? Why do I impress so much importance upon this generators? Because we are announcing the biggest incentive we've ever had at DuePoint tomorrow. Right? You do not want to miss the generators. It'll again be announced in the introductory presentation afterwards, but for our rank 4s and above, they'll be the first to hear of it in this workshop. So make sure that you attend it. If you're outside of Gauteng, the rank 4s are most welcome to live stream it, but don't miss this, please. And with that, my invitation to you as guests out in the rest of the country is that you become a wealth engineer and join us in this business called DuePoint. My sincerest hope is that people will use the time that they have to start investing in themselves, start creating assets, and start creating true prosperity, where we live in a country, and it's not just our country, all over the place, where we are fighting constantly. And it is time to stop looking towards the economy, to politicians, to your boss, to your company, to the industry you work in for answers. You have to do it for yourselves. And unfortunately, that comes with a massive price tag of accountability. Right? It is easy as employees to just be told, this is what you got to do every month, and you just pitch up to work and you do what you got to do and you get your salary at the end of the month. Right? Being an entrepreneur, which this business is all about, it's social entrepreneurship, is this this requirement for accountability to keep yourself motivated by the necessity that we have in our lives. Right? Don't wait for crisis before you start doing something. It's too late. Do it beforehand. We've got, 5 weeks left of December. You can still make 2018 look prosperous. Right? They say December's what? The month of prosperity? Right. That's a big lie, right? That's a month of suffering. We're going to buy Christmas presents. Kids want to go on holiday. There's all this pressure on us adults, right? Mitigate this. It's just month to month, a little bit of work. You build your channel of distribution, and in 5 years' time, you won't recognize the person that you were 5 years ago. So that is my invitation to everybody. If you have any questions, come speak to me. If you're on the live chat, you're welcome to ask Jane on the live chat. Otherwise, I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. I look forward to seeing the generators tomorrow morning. Thank you.